Hello and good evening. Welcome to Unlocking Finance with your financial friend. My name is Ntombi, and as usual, I am here to help you unlock your financial potential through practical, simple, and biblical money principles. So now we've already spoken about four things. We've spoken about controlling your hunger, controlling your thoughts, controlling your space, and controlling your time. But tonight, I want us to speak about something that many people ignore while chasing success: your energy. Because it is possible to be ambitious but exhausted, busy but unproductive, working hard but emotionally empty. And if your energy is constantly drained, especially your discipline, your finances, your relationships, and even your spiritual life, those will begin to suffer. So tonight's topic is control your energy. Now, most of us might think only of money as a resource, but energy is also a resource. Well, we also learned this in physics, right? In fact, energy affects how you use your money. So when your energy is healthy, you think clearly, you make wiser decisions, you plan better, and you stay disciplined for longer. But when your energy is low, you become impulsive, you become emotionally reactive, inconsistent, and mentally exhausted. I'm sure many of us can relate to these points that I've mentioned here. And that exhaustion often starts showing up financially as well. Suddenly, you start overspending for comfort's sake, or you avoid budgeting because, I don't want to see that, right? Or you ignore responsibilities, or you procrastinate important decisions, or you might even emotionally shop because you're tired. Many financial problems are connected to emotional exhaustion, and that's why protecting your energy matters. Now let's look at scripture, Proverbs 4, verse 23, which says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Everything flows from your inner condition, including your financial behavior. Now you ask yourself, heart, energy, heart. When your energy is depleted, your heart is no longer in it anymore. You're exhausted. It's everything all together. And that's why it's important for you to guard the energy that you give towards stuff. Now, one of the biggest dangers today is that people are constantly drained. And I want us to speak about the cost of drained energy. You might be drained mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I've experienced all three, right? And a drained person struggles to build consistently. It's difficult to show up consistently when you are drained, when you are tired. Wealth building requires patience. It requires consistency, discipline, long-term thinking, and emotional stability. But when you're exhausted, those things are weakened. And so let's look at how drained energy affects our finances. Number one, it affects us through emotional spending. When people are exhausted, they often seek comfort through spending. So, let me buy something nice, or I deserve this, or if I get this, this will make me feel better. But that temporary comfort can create long-term financial pressure. And that's why maybe some of us might be caught up in some addictions because of exhaustion. Maybe you're not able to deal with whatever's happening in your life. You're just tired. And so you find solace in something else, but it comes at a cost of your future. Secondly, poor decision making. Drained energy affects your poor decision making. It results in poor decision making. Your fatigue reduces your wisdom. You no longer seek counsel, or you no longer want to read. You no longer want to know. You're just tired, right? And so you begin to delay important financial decisions, or you avoid checking your accounts because you don't want to see that negative bank balance, or you ignore the debt. This one. And you stop planning. Not because you're lazy, but you could be mentally overwhelmed. In some instances, yes, you are lazy, but for the purposes of this topic, we are talking about energy, right? That you being drained does affect how you make decisions. Thirdly, it affects how you show up. It adds or contributes towards your inconsistency. Exhausted people struggle with consistency. You will start something, so you'll start budgeting and then you'll stop. You'll start saving and then you'll stop. You'll start building discipline and then you'll lose momentum. But understanding that consistency is the real key to building wealth. And so being exhausted contributes towards you being inconsistent. Now, one of the things that are important towards you maturing in your wealth building is learning what deserves your attention. Not everything deserves your energy. Where your energy goes, your life follows. So some of us, we lose financial focus because all our energy goes into drama. Right? Into people's business. We are meddling in other people's affairs. The energy goes there. Or it goes into comparing ourselves. You know, that unhealthy comparison. Or we are in toxic relationships, toxic friendships, toxic family, affairs, toxic, relationships with employers and employees. It's just, your energy is just going to the wrong spaces. Or you're putting your energy into social media pressure. Or you're trying to impress people, so your energy is going there. Or you're arguing all the time. Every time you are fighting, you're arguing about something. Or you're constantly reacting emotionally. You just don't have your emotions in check. Understand that at the end of the day, you find yourself not having any energy for purpose. Like, you can't invest in doing something meaningful for your life because your energy has been spread thin. You cannot build while you're consistently distracted. You cannot build wealth effectively if your emotions are always unstable, if your mind is always noisy, and your environment is always chaotic, like I mentioned previously. And this is why controlling your energy also means controlling your exposure. So you must learn to ask yourself, what is it that's draining you? What is constantly stealing your focus? What leaves you emotionally exhausted? What environments weaken your discipline? Because some things cost more emotionally than they appear financially. Now let's look at Jesus as an example, because maybe some of you are listening to me and saying, why is she coming with this energy talk? It's also biblical. We can see it through Jesus as well. Jesus rested. We see in Luke 5 verse 16, it says that Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Key word here, or the key words here, is that he withdrew. Even while he's walking in purpose or carrying purpose, even as he's helping people, even while he's serving. Why? Because restoration, recuperating himself mattered to him. Today, many of us feel guilty for resting, but rest is not laziness. It's not a sin. It's important. It's part of the journey. You need to rest. I've said this in one of my posts before, is that you need to plan for rest. Rest needs to be part of your wealth building plan. You can't be on 100 all the time. You will get tired. You will burn out. So it's important for you to be intentional, even in your schedule, like I spoke about managing and controlling your time. In your schedule, you need to have time for rest. You can't be working from 9 to 5 with no breaks. You need to have intentional breaks of trying to recuperate yourself. You need to have withdrawal moments. You can't be around people all the time. You need to be at a place where you are alone and you're taking deep breaths and you're aware of everything that's happening around you, where you are praying, spending time with the Lord. But you need to be intentional about that rest. Now, what are practical ways to control your energy? Number 1, protect your mind. You can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot build sustainably while you're constantly depleted. So not every conversation deserves access to your peace. Manage your access. Manage what accesses your thoughts, what accesses your mind. Reduce constant negativity, unnecessary comparisons, information overload, like I mentioned. We're living in such a tough time where there's so much, right? And emotional chaos. Reduce those things. Be intentional about it. Look, What are the things in your life that are contributing towards you being negative all the time? Reduce those things. Maybe you might be in situations where you can't cut them off completely. Then just manage it, to spend less time on it. Right? Your mind needs quietness to think clearly. Some of us are in noise all the time. Every week you are out with friends. Every week you are out with family. Like there's no time for silence. You need to be comfortable with silence so that you can hear yourself think. And that element is very important in wealth building. Number 2, rest intentionally. Rest is productive when it restores you. So it's not a rest that leads to laziness and you don't want to do anything, but it's intentional. It's purposeful. You sleep properly. Sleep is one of the most underrated things towards wealth building and just general health. It's underrated, but sleep is important. It's something that's free for us. It's something that you can just decide right now to do. No one can take that away from you but you. Unless, of course, you're a mother and a father. And you have, the little ones that are very demanding. That's a different story. But what I'm saying is be in control of your sleep schedule as part of your planning, planning your rest. Pause properly. Have moments where you're pausing. Don't be, always consistently talking or having something to say. Pause a bit. You don't have to be doing something all the time. Pause. And also make sure that you recover properly. So you're not just resting for the purposes of just being lazy, but you are recovering. You are healing. It also needs to serve a purpose. Exhaustion is not a badge of honor. I'll say it again. Exhaustion is not a badge of honor. It's not cute. It's not something to brag about. Matter of fact, it's quite unattractive. It shows that you don't have your life under control. Because why would you want to brag about being tired? It's not cool. Don't do it. Number 3, build healthy routines. Your daily habits either protect or drain your energy. So develop simple routines like waking up earlier or going to bed earlier. Planning your day. Wake up in the morning, like I said, with your devotion. And planning your day. What are you going to do today? How are you going to be intentional for the day? Exercising. You don't even have to go to the gym. You can just walk. Take a walk outside if you have that privilege. Budgeting consistently. Reducing clutter and chaos. Devotion and prayer. Your structure protects your energy. The structure is there to protect you and your energy. Number 4, choose healthy environments. Your environment affects your emotional condition. Some spaces inspire discipline, others create pressure. Some relationships build you and others drain you. Make sure that you protect your atmosphere. Number 5, stop trying to impress people. One of the greatest energy draining, things financially is performing for others. Every time you just want to impress other people, you're looking for validation, trying to look successful, trying to prove yourself, trying to compete. Real wealth is quiet, it's intentional, and it doesn't need constant validation. Now, speaking about energy and how it fits into long-term wealth, wealth is not built through motivation alone. Motivation comes and goes, but real wealth is built through sustainable discipline, emotional stability, consistent habits, and controlled energy. And this is funny because I say this every episode, so you're probably tired of hearing me say this all the time, but it is what it is. This means that you need to learn when to pause. You need to learn when to say no. Saying no to things is one of the most powerful things that will save you money and will protect your energy. Learning when to disconnect, learning when to rest, and learning where your energy should go. Because burnout will destroy your consistency. And consistency is what you need to build results. So in closing, I want you to remember this as we are going through all the things that we spoke about in this series. Learn to control your hunger so that your desire does not control you. Control your thoughts so that negativity does not direct you. Control your space so that your environment does not weaken you. Control your time so that your habits will build your future. And control your energy so that you don't burn out before becoming who God has called you to be. Because wealth is not about money only, but it's about stewardship of your entire life. Well, that's it for me tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on Unlocking Finance with Your Financial Friend. My name is Ntombi, and do reach out to me on social media at Your Financial Friend on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And remember that small disciplined actions, repeated consistently, can unlock a completely different future for you. Have a good night, and God bless.